Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Ready to explore something new today?
Absolutely. Always excited to dive into these fascinating topics.
Well, today we're going to be looking at AI literacy and how it's transforming businesses.
Specifically, we're focusing on generative AI.
Yeah, things like LLMs, ChatGPT,
Right.
but thinking about them on like an enterprise scale.
Right, exactly.
So these AI tools are not just a thing of the future anymore. They're here.
Yeah, and businesses really need to get up to speed with them or they risk falling behind.
It's almost like a new language that we all need to learn, right?
That's a great analogy because there are different levels of fluency with AI, just like with any language.
Okay, so let's break down those levels then.
Sure.
Our research talks about four main categories: avoidance, familiarity, literacy, and fluency. And what I found really interesting is that only 9% of workers are considered fluent in AI.
That's right. Surprisingly low, isn't it?
It is incredibly low, especially with AI being integrated into so many industries.
Yeah. It really points to a significant skills gap that companies need to address.
Yeah, and the businesses that can close that gap will definitely have a competitive edge.
Absolutely.
So we've got this AI literacy gap, as we're calling it.
Right.
But it's not just an overall lack of understanding. There's a generational divide, too.
Definitely, Gen Z and millennials are much more comfortable with AI.
And a large percentage of baby boomers are just avoiding it altogether.
Yeah, that's what our research highlights.
That's a pretty stark contrast.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what that means for companies that have a multi-generational workforce.
It's certainly something companies need to consider.
Are we going to see conflicts? Are we going to see difficulties in adopting these new technologies because of that?
Well, bridging that gap through training and upskilling programs is going to be crucial for success.
For sure. And it's not just generations, right? We're also seeing differences between teams within companies.
Oh, absolutely.
For instance, marketing and IT teams show much higher AI literacy rates than sales, customer experience, or HR.
Yeah. For example, 64% of marketing teams already use AI for communication tasks, compared to only 32% of sales teams.
So that's a big difference.
It is. It is.
So what does all of this mean for our listener?
Well, I think
We've established this AI literacy gap.
Mhm.
It's impacting businesses across generations and departments.
Mhm.
What can you actually do about it?
That's the big question, right? But I think before we jump into solutions, it's essential to understand the technology driving this AI revolution, specifically large language models or LLMs.
Okay, so let's unpack LLMs then.
Okay.
They're essentially the brains behind a lot of these generative AI tools, right?
Exactly. Think of them as incredibly complex algorithms that have been trained on a vast amount of data.
Right.
They can generate human quality text, translate languages, write different kinds of creative content,
Wow.
and answer your questions in an informative way,
Okay.
even if they are open-ended, challenging, or strange.
Interesting. And I've heard about some potential issues with LLMs. Is that right? For example, they can sometimes generate outputs that are factually incorrect, right? It's like having a friend who's really good at storytelling, but they sometimes get details mixed up.
That's a great analogy.
It is.
That's what we call a hallucination.
Okay.
It happens when the LLM tries to fill in gaps in its knowledge, and it can lead to outputs that sound plausible but are completely made up.
So it's crucial to remember that while LLMs are powerful tools, we can't just blindly trust everything they generate.
Exactly.
We always need to be double-checking those facts and using them responsibly.
Precisely. And this understanding is crucial as businesses move through the different stages of enterprise-wide generative AI adoption.
Okay.
Speaking of which, let's dive into that framework now.
Right. Sounds good to me. What's the first stage on this AI adoption journey?
Well, the journey starts with awareness. This is where individuals within a company start to recognize the potential of generative AI.
Okay.
They might be reading articles, attending webinars, or just hearing the buzz about things like ChatGPT.
So it's like dipping their toes in the water, getting a feel for what AI is all about.
Exactly. And from there, they move into the experimentation phase. This is where companies start getting hands-on, trying out different generative AI tools and running small-scale pilot projects.
Okay.
It's about testing the waters and seeing how these tools can be applied to real-world problems within their organization.
So it's like moving from talking about AI to actually doing AI.
Right.
But just experimenting isn't enough.
Right. The next stage is optimization.
Okay.
This is where companies start to refine their approach. They've identified successful use cases, and now they're figuring out how to streamline those processes, identify best practices, and get the most out of their AI tools.
So they're fine-tuning their AI strategy, making
Right.
it more efficient and effective?
Precisely. And as companies become more comfortable and confident in their AI capabilities, they move towards standardization.
Okay.
This stage involves creating formal policies and guidelines around AI usage, establishing best practices, and ensuring consistency across different teams.
It sounds like AI is becoming a more ingrained part of their operations.
Yeah.
At this point, it's not just an experiment anymore.
Exactly, and this leads to the final stage transformation.
Yeah.
This is where AI has been fully embraced not just as a tool, but as a fundamental driver of innovation and change.
Wow.
Companies at this stage are using AI to transform their business models, create entirely new products and services, and redefine the competitive landscape.
It sounds like reaching this stage of transformation is the ultimate goal, but I imagine it's not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
What are some of the roadblocks that companies encounter along this journey?
You're absolutely right. There are some common gaps that can hinder AI adoption. One of the biggest is what we call the 0 to 1 gap.
Okay.
It's that initial hurdle of overcoming inertia and fear to actually begin experimenting with AI.
It's that deer in the headlights moment, right?
Uh.
They know AI is coming, but they freeze up and don't know where to start.
Exactly. And even when companies do start experimenting, they often hit what we call the literacy gap. It's one thing to play around with a free AI tool, but it's another thing entirely to have a workforce that understands how to leverage AI effectively and responsibly.
So you need that foundation of AI knowledge and skills to really move forward.
Yeah.
What other gaps do companies need to be aware of?
Well, there's the technology gap.
Okay.
Companies need the right tools and infrastructure to support AI adoption.
Right.
This can mean investing in cloud-based platforms, developing custom AI solutions, or finding the right partners to work with.
It's like trying to build a house without the right tools.
Right.
You need the right foundation to succeed.
Precisely. And finally, there's the systems gap.
Okay.
It's not enough to just have pockets of AI adoption happening in different departments. You need systems and processes that standardize AI usage across the entire organization.
So it's about moving beyond individual experiments and creating a more cohesive AI strategy that everyone is aligned with.
Exactly. Bridging these gaps is key to successfully navigating the 5 stages of AI adoption we discussed. Now, let's dive into some actionable steps companies can take to make this happen.
Sounds good to me. What's the first step companies can take to get the ball rolling?
The first step is crucial. Get buy-in from both leadership and employees. You need leadership to champion AI adoption and provide the necessary resources, but you also need enthusiasm and engagement from employees at all levels.
Okay.
It can't just be a top-down initiative.
So it's about getting everyone excited and invested in the potential of AI.
Exactly. And once you have that buy-in, the next step is to focus on education and training. Provide your workforce with the knowledge and skills they need to understand and utilize AI effectively.
It's like learning any new language. You need proper instruction and practice to become fluent.
Precisely. And the next crucial step is to invest in the right tools. There's a vast ecosystem of generative AI tools out there.
Right.
So it's essential to choose the ones that align with your specific business needs and goals.
Don't just jump on the latest bandwagon. Do your research and choose wisely.
Absolutely. Now, once you have the tools in place, it's important to establish clear guidelines and policies for their use.
Okay.
This ensures responsible and ethical AI adoption within your organization.
So set some ground rules and make sure everyone understands how to use these powerful tools responsibly.
Exactly. And finally, you need to cultivate a company culture that embraces AI, encourage experimentation, learning, and collaboration around AI initiatives, celebrate successes, and learn from failures.
It's about creating an environment where AI is seen as a tool for empowerment, not something to be feared or resisted.
Exactly. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about how this all translates into the real world. How are businesses actually using these generative AI technologies to create value and achieve their goals?
That's what I'm really curious about. Let's get into some concrete examples.
Well, one of the most exciting areas is content creation. Companies are using AI to generate everything from marketing copy and social media posts to product descriptions and even scripts like the one we're using right now.
Wait, this script was written by AI. I had no idea.
What?
It's incredibly convincing.
Well, let's just say AI played a role in the process.
Okay.
But it's still important to have human oversight to ensure quality and accuracy.
That makes sense. So beyond content creation, where else are we seeing AI make a big impact?
Another area is customer service. AI-powered chatbots are becoming increasingly sophisticated, handling basic inquiries, resolving issues, and even providing personalized recommendations.
Interesting.
This frees up human agents to focus on more complex tasks.
So it's about augmenting human capabilities, not replacing them entirely.
Exactly. And we're also seeing AI being used to analyze massive data sets to identify trends and insights that would be impossible for humans to uncover on their own. This is leading to breakthroughs in everything from personalized medicine to fraud detection.
Wow. It's amazing to think about the sheer volume of data that AI can process and the insights it can unlock. What about the future? Where do you see AI heading in the next few years?
The possibilities are truly limitless. One of the most exciting trends is the development of even more sophisticated and specialized AI models.
Okay.
We're moving beyond general-purpose LLMs to models that are specifically trained for tasks like drug discovery, financial modeling, or even creative writing.
So AI is becoming more specialized and tailored to specific industries and applications. What else should we be paying attention to?
Another important trend is the growing emphasis on AI ethics and responsibility as AI becomes more powerful. It's crucial to ensure that it's developed and used in a way that aligns with human values and societal needs.
So it's not just about building AI, it's about building AI that's beneficial and aligned with our values.
Exactly. And this is where AI literacy becomes even more critical. The more people understand AI, its capabilities, and its limitations, the better equipped we'll be to guide its development and ensure its responsible use.
So it's not just about businesses adopting AI, it's about society as a whole, embracing AI literacy and shaping its future.
Absolutely. This is a conversation that needs to involve everyone, not just tech experts or business leaders. We all have a stake in the future of AI, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
Well said. So we've covered a lot of ground today, from the basics of AI literacy and LLMs to the 5 stages of enterprise AI adoption, and some real-world examples of how AI is being used to transform businesses. What's the key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with today?
I think the most important takeaway is that AI is no longer a futuristic concept. It's here, it's real, and it's transforming businesses at an unprecedented pace. Embracing AI literacy is no longer optional. It's essential for success in today's rapidly evolving business landscape.
So don't be intimidated by AI. Dive in, learn about it, and explore the incredible opportunities it offers.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to be a data scientist or an engineer to understand and leverage AI. There are resources available for everyone, regardless of your technical background.
That's a great point. We've included a list of those resources in the show notes for anyone who wants to delve deeper into this topic.
And be sure to join the conversation online. Share your thoughts, ask questions, and connect with others who are exploring the exciting world of AI.
Exactly. Let's keep this dialogue going. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI literacy. We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.
We've talked about, the big picture of AI adoption and the potential it has to transform businesses.
Right.
But what about the everyday impact? Like, how is AI changing the way individual employees work, regardless of their specific role or industry,
It's a great question, and it's an important one.
Yeah.
AI isn't just about, robots taking over jobs
Right.
or big companies making, these sweeping changes.
Yeah.
It's about making each of us more effective in our daily tasks.
So it's more about like augmenting human capabilities rather than replacing them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Take writing, for example.
Yeah.
AI-powered writing assistants are becoming increasingly common, helping people communicate more clearly and effectively.
Right. Like tools like Grammarly come to mind. Exactly.
It's not writing for you, but it helps refine your work
Right.
and avoid, those little mistakes that can make a big difference.
Exactly. And then there's data analysis.
Mm-hmm.
AI can sift through mountains of data in seconds, spotting trends and insights that would take humans, hours or even days to uncover.
So it's like having an AI research assistant at your fingertips.
Yeah.
You can ask questions, you can get instant insights, and use that information to make better decisions.
Exactly.
Wow.
And this applies across so many roles,
Right.
whether you're in marketing, sales, customer service, even HR. AI can help you automate tasks, personalize interactions, and just generally be more effective.
It's incredible to think about how much potential AI has to really empower individual employees.
Yeah.
It's not just about changing businesses, it's about changing the way we work, on a fundamental level.
Absolutely. And the key to unlocking this potential is AI literacy. The more comfortable and confident employees are in using AI tools, the more they'll be able to leverage them to enhance their own skills and become even more valuable to their organizations.
So this kind of brings us back full circle to our main point. AI literacy is the new language of business. Fluency in this language is no longer optional. It's crucial for success in this new landscape.
Couldn't agree more. And instead of fearing AI or seeing it as a threat, we should embrace it as a powerful tool that can help us all achieve more.
Embrace AI, don't fear it. I love that. Before we wrap up, I want to encourage our listeners to explore those resources we mentioned earlier.
Yes, those resources can help deepen your understanding of AI literacy, generative AI technologies, and the steps you can take to move forward on your own AI journey.
So keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI literacy.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep innovating.